Has this ever happened to you?
Alright, GG's, bro. I'll see you tomorrow or something. Bye. Why is it 5 p.m.?
Man, I didn't really do anything today. I spent like 8 hours playing video games, and the rest of the day I didn't really do much besides eating and showering. Probably didn't even shower because I'm such a gamer. But man, I'm so disappointed in myself. I feel like shit now that I've just played video games all day, and now my day's over. I guess tomorrow I'll just be productive to make up for this.
We're gonna talk about something which the gaming industry and most people who upload videos don't talk about. And this is something that's really serious to me especially. And I feel like it needs to get talked about. It needs to be addressed because it's a really shitty thing that video games do to people. It's horrible, honestly. And it's the fact that in reality, video games are a waste of time, right? You're playing these video games for hours on end, 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, even 2 hours a day, and you'll never get that time back. And it's great sometimes, like, yeah, I had a really rough day, let's reward ourselves, let's play, you know, the new Breath of the Wild for a couple hours, right? That's something, and you're trading your time for an experience. But in reality, I've spent over 1,000 hours in multiple games. Smash Bros, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 4. I've played so many of these games, and imagine if I used that time in a different way. Imagine if I used it in any other way. I would be a professional in all those other topics, and I'm not a professional gamer. Hell, I don't even make Smash Bros videos anymore, although I should, you know, sometimes I be feeling myself. Check out this combo. But in all seriousness, I'm a professional at one thing, and it's feeling this fucking sense of guilt every time I finish playing video games. And I got to a point in my life where I don't really play as much video games, nowhere near as much as I used to play. And that's because as you get older, you get more responsibilities, you have less time to play video games, right? In fact, the only other 2 times I've talked about this topic with friends, one of these people was an older friend about 4 years ago, and another one was a recent friend within this year that told me this. And they pretty much said, enjoy playing video games now, because as you get older, you will never have this experience again, because you just have to forget about video games when you have an actual career. And it's pretty fucked, right? You're just like, okay, as you're young, let's waste all this fucking time, which could go somewhere way better. And I'm not trying to instill this sense of guilt or make anybody trying to stop playing video games in general. I think it's an addiction which most of us probably can't even stop at this point. But what I am saying is, it's something that should at least be addressed, right? Nobody talks about this, and it's frustrating. And as you're young, I feel like it's fine if you waste a lot of time. But as you get older, you really can't afford it, right? As you're young, you honestly don't really have much to do. Playing video games is like making long-lasting memories with friends almost. Like, I remember going to my friend's house when I was younger, just playing Minecraft for a lot of hours. But now that I'm older, it's like I would feel so bad if I did that. But yeah, it's inexcusable as you get older, and it really sucks. Even in college, I try to emphasize the fact that in college a lot of people waste their fucking time, right? They're just partying, doing a bunch of stupid shit. But I feel like another way that people just waste their time, which isn't that superficially stupid, is just playing video games. And I feel like the only way that playing video games is justifiable in any way is if you go pro eventually, or if it's a reward, or if you're making some sort of content out of it or a career out of it. Does that make sense? I think they overlapped a little bit. But for example, one way I try to justify my video game addiction is by making a YouTube video about Smash Bros. Granted, it didn't go well because content creation is very different from video games, and to be honest, I wasn't feeling like the content creation was fulfilling when these videos about playing Smash Bros are eventually gonna get forgotten in the abyss, because they aren't providing any value besides a little bit of dopamine to the viewer, which is eventually gonna get forgotten about, right? I've watched so many videos about video games and I've probably forgotten all of them. I just can't imagine someone 20 years down the line watching videos about Smash Bros, or at least for my channel, and being like, yeah, this is peak, this is quality. Like, no one's gonna give a fuck. And that's why I'm not doing that anymore. At least that's the way I would see it. Bang! You guys might have seen this in a older video, if you guys have ever watched my videos just in the background, because I used to have it as background decor when streaming. But I'm gonna use this as an example here. I used to play a lot of Xbox. I know this isn't an Xbox, first of all. Don't go to the comments. Give me a second. Damn. But I used to play a lot of Xbox, right, all the time. And this was really bad. It was messing up a lot of my like relationships with friends or just people in general. I don't want to get into specifics. Point is that I used to play so much Xbox that it really affected me because I wasn't like socializing enough in the real world. And the only way I got over this was by actually putting away my Xbox One at the time away. Like straight up put it away in a drawer. And it's been in that drawer ever since because I'm too lazy to plug it in now and just set it up. So I have not touched my Xbox. If you were to figure out my gamer tag, it's not AstroCube. It might be related to Cube, but that's the only hint y'all get. If you were to look at my Xbox profile right now, it'd probably say last seen 3 years ago because I haven't really touched it since. And I feel like that's really the only way I could stop myself from playing Smash Bros that time is by literally just putting away my Nintendo Switch and just putting it in a drawer for a bit. And that is usually what I do for like finals weeks or just like times where I really can't play. But that's like the only advice I have. I haven't figured out this problem. I mean, sometimes I justify playing Smash Bros, right? Like if you had a really shitty day. But honestly, for me, playing video games isn't like the most relaxing thing, right? Playing Smash Bros, how the fuck is that relaxing? Please tell me. Somebody tell me. I mean, granted it's cool when you're hitting combos, but let's think about this for every game, right? There's not really any games which are relaxing. Even fucking Terraria, I've played it. My god, I'm stressing it out, bro. I'm trying to optimize everything, and maybe it's my personality, which is this video is making me realize, but man, it sucks because video games will give me more headaches than actually relaxing. And you know what? Video games have their moments where they shine, where they're really good as well. Like I know I saw a YouTube short about this where Ludwig Ogren, he pretty much broke up with his girlfriend and all he did was just play Breath of the Wild for like 100 hours, right? That's justifiable. And another thing is that conversation starters are great about video games. If I've ever met a dude, it's definitely the way I talk to them. I will talk about video games because I am just so introverted. I do not want to talk about anything else. And video games will always be a killer topic. It's just talk about it and then inevitably set up a Smash Bros session where I absolutely destroy them with Wolf and just side beat them. It's also really cool just having a bit of like random talents that come from video games, like mashing really fast. I was recently at my cousin's house and we played one of those like rhythm games, and when it came to the mashing, I was just like, mashing is really cool. Point is, you get a couple talents and that's pretty cool. But besides that, I feel like it's a waste of time. Think about it like this. Would you rather have learned a magic trick or played Call of Duty for 10 hours and not remembered pretty much any of the games after you've played? Right? The obvious choice is magic. But because we're just so used to playing video games, we always revolve and go to the Call of Duty. And I think it's the addicting part of video games, dopamine, which just makes you come back every single time. And it's really depressing and obsessing. I just played for like 2 hours. I started at 1 p.m. and now it's like 3 p.m. And that's like 2 hours I'm never gonna get back in my life. It feels kind of shitty. I missed out on a meal because of it. I have to eat all late. And because of that, I'm probably gonna eat late before I go to sleep, and it's gonna fuck up my sleep. And now it's just this like snowball effect, and it's all because I wanted to play
the Smash Bros. When I couldn't tell myself no. Because I wanted to play a little bit longer. I don't know, I don't feel good after playing. I feel like I kind of just wasted a bunch of time. And my head kind of hurts, if anything. It was fun in the moment. Yeah, I could say that. I, like, had fun. It's always fun playing video games, but